Hello bookish friends, I have a different sort of video for you today. I'm going to go over my completed 2024 reading journal and what I have set up for 2025. But first we're going to take a look at this spread from 2023. This was a series tracker I put in, and I started with just any and every series I had going on, and you can see the turquoisey color is books I started before 2023 or series, and purple is what I read in 2023, and then the blue ones are ones that I marked off this year. And I wanted to show that I did make some progress this year. I finished the Children of the Consortium trilogy this year. There was a new Wild Robot book that came out, and I read it this year. Bookstrings is actually a continuing series, and I am currently caught up, so I don't know if I'm going to continue to add in when new books come out or not. I did read a couple of the Gateway books, and I do plan on finishing this series this year. And I read the last book in the Skymar series, and then New Cheltenham is another series that is continuing. Shatona has one come out like every year. I didn't read the one that came out this year, but I do have it on Kindle and plan to get to it soon. Now we can flip through. This is my 2024 kind of title page, and you'll notice I have multiple years set up in the same journal. You don't have to buy a new journal for every year. You can use one for more than one. And this was my one for 2024. I put stickers that I received from pen pals and friends, and then this was a pre-order goodie for the Winter Maiden. And yeah, it filled up a lot this year. I actually had to put stickers on other pages too, and that's fine. You can see this was the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge that Chantal at Chantal Reads All Day put on this year, and I was an overachiever, and I did both sides, and I did manage to complete both sides. And then Chantal also did a Year of Christie read along, and I actually ended up reading, well, actually only 9 out of the 12 books. One of them I had already read, and so I read a different one that month. But toward the end of the year, I was getting really busy with BookTube, and my library didn't have The Mysterious Mr. Quinn, and I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to purchase a copy, because I think I had read one of the short stories with him in it and didn't really care for it. And then I just never got to Sleeping Murder. I did, however, complete the Buzzword-a-thon that I think Books and Lala puts on, and I did at least start a book for each of these. I actually ended up DNFing Emily Dickinson's poems, but I think I completed all of the other books. And here's a little sticker from Chantal I fit in. This was this year's series tracker, and I had a few series that I had started in 2024 that I put in here, and since I ran out of space last year, thought that I would only include series if they had at least 3 books, but obviously you can see I had space to do more. And I'm thinking there are a couple of duologies that I ended up just not finishing because I couldn't check them off. This was a reading prize from Shatona for doing her Camp Read More this summer, and I would like to make progress on some of these series this year, so you can't really see it, but I did add yellow in. I might change my mind because I haven't actually colored in anything, and I did get some pretty highlighters for Christmas this year. I might choose one of those colors instead. And there are a few of these series I won't be able to finish. Agency Files is also a continuing series, and Nordic Wars, the first book came out in 2024. The second book is scheduled to come out in 2025, but the third book probably won't come out until at least 2026. But you can see I did actually start and finish a couple of series this year, which felt good. And this is all the books I read in 2024. I think there are either 182 or 184. And I color these in according to genre, and I have my little color-coded thing down here. And anything with the blue lines is a book that a book I would have read on my own, but we also read in homeschooling. And this was my oopsie spread that I ended up repeating in my 2025. I accidentally skipped a page between these two spreads from 2023, and I decided to just write in my 5-star reads for the year, because some months I don't have any and it's a struggle to pick a favorite for my book bracket, and then other months like December I had 5-star reads. And I put 31 in here, but Clock Tower Bound is actually in here twice. And yeah, I'll have to narrow these down to actually do a favorites. Oh, and I got these adorable Animals in Teacup stickers from a friend of mine for Christmas, and I was happy to find a couple places in here. I actually added one to my nameplate in the front too. I think somebody sent me this sticker as well. And then this was my book bracket. To make it a little easier on myself, I do a favorite book every 3 months, so once a quarter, then it makes it semi-finalist and finalist. And the one that won this year was The Clouds Ye So Much Dread, which is a nonfiction and was kind of surprising, but it's one of those books that I read at the right time and has stuck with me. And I know if I'm ever going through a bit of a trial again, it's a book I will definitely pick up and read again. And here is my list of 24 books to read in 2024. There wasn't really any particular order to these, except I did put all of my nonfiction together here at the end. And I gave myself permission to DNF a book if I wanted to. It's my 3-year-old. And so I ended up DNFing 5 out of 24 books this year. And that's okay. And then I had the idea this summer to start putting in the papers from all of the reading challenges and read-alongs and readathons that I do, so I can actually look back and see what I've read and what I read them for. So I did do the summer book bingo. Yeah, my printer only does black and white, so I might try to make this look prettier this year, or I might not. I did Camp Read More. I did the Fall Scavenger Hunt from Coffee and a Book, Chantel's Cozy Cottage Readathon. I think for next year I'm also going to make sure I put what month I'm months. A few of these were multiple month challenges on my, put the month on them so I know. I mean, obviously series September and October. I know what month I read those. And with this one, I even made it so I could flip it up, make it look nicer. And the last one I did was Tinsel and Tales. didn't quite finish it, and that was okay because I was all about the mood reading. And you can see I've already set up my title page for 2025, and I've already put stickers on it. And oops, I'm only doing one book for each month of the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge this month. January is Beauty. I already started my book for that, but it can't get written down until it's actually finished. February is Size, March is Time, April is Flower, May is Favorite, June is Bird, July is Royalty, August is Space, September is Travel, October is History, November is Food, and December is Frosty. And then for the buzzword, there was one where you could do a word in the title, or you could do a word related to the cover. I don't know if you can hear my kids' show going in the background, but it's at least keeping them from being noisy. Anyway, for buzzword, you could do a buzzword for the title or a buzzword for the cover, and I decided to do the cover challenge because it looked a little easier with the books I already have. January's Pattern, February is Skyline, March is Books, April's Animal, May is Eyes, June is Celestial, July is Technology, August is Transportation, September is Foliage, October is Weapon, November is Food or Drink, and December is Monochromatic. I put in another series tracker because I'm pretty confident I'm going to start new series this year. And then I decided to give myself more space to write out the titles for where I track my reading. I also switched to colored pencils, so that way I could give myself more genres. And the colored pencils will make it easier to put more than one color on the spine. So if something's historical fiction with a little bit of a fantasy twist, I can count it for both genres. And then I still have my blue for read aloud, and I also added a gold for 5 stars. So that went from a 2-page spread to 4 pages, just to make it easier to write out the titles. And then I did like the 5-star reads, so I'm going to do that again. I scooted over, you can't really see, but I already penciled in my boxes, but I scooted them over so I could write out the months and divide them by months so I can see what months I'm reading them in. Again, favorite book bracket. I really like it. It makes it a lot easier to narrow down what my favorite book of the year was. And here is my 25 books to read in 2025. The only change I made was that I put my nonfiction first and then my fiction books. And then another sticker I got for Christmas, and I think Shatona sent me that one, and I thought it matched the turquoisey color of the spread. And here is where I put in my book bingo challenge for myself for the year. These are things that I want to challenge myself to do. A buddy read, I've already started this with Shatona, but I'm not very far into the book at all. Finish my book that I'm trying to read in a year, The Life-Giving Home. 10 owned books, 10 owned Kindle books, readathon, blackout, finish 3 series, new to me author, 3 books off of my favorite authors' backlists, a book I've owned more than a year. I'm going to do my first giveaway. This one will probably take me into November, December, but finish the 25 and 2025 challenge. I want to read 3 Wodehouse books because I didn't read any in 2024. He's an author I want to read more of. A Free Space. I want to read the whole New Testament, which my friends at church do every summer, so that shouldn't be hard. 10 library books, a tome, 6 nonfiction books, read a book in 24 hours, so start to finish. Obviously I can sleep 3 rereads, 3 Agatha Christie, start and finish a whole series, short story collection, read within 30 days. I actually just drew this card for January, and I just got my book this week, so this should be checked off within the first week of February. A friend recommendation. I had a friend send me a book for Christmas, but I've also borrowed a book from a friend, so either one of those would count. And then a kid pick. I am participating in Charlene at Coffee and Books Travel to Distant Lands book club. She has announced the first 2 books. First one is Healer by Linda Windsor. That's the book I just got in mail. And Cities of Smoke and Starlight. I got that as a free Kindle book, so that can count towards something else. And I decided to put in monthly spreads this year. They might look a little different, but I've got the month, and I was looking for bookish quotes, but I came across this one about snow, and it is a very snowy January this year. And snow is not my enemy, I tell him. Snow is God's way of telling people to slow down and rest and stay in bed for a day and read. Robert Fulgham. All I really needed to know I learned in kindergarten. So I wrote down my official TBR for the month. I have not finished any of these yet, and it's already January 7th. But I am currently reading 2 of these. 3 of these. I have Thoroughfare going as my buddy read. I started The Light Between Worlds as an audiobook because I had to drive today. And I'm reading the parenting book, but I've only read the introduction. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this blank page over here yet. I'm thinking I am in Chantel's Patreon, and I think I might every month we do a reading a page count challenge, and I'm thinking about putting my page count over here. And then I have an Anne of Green Gables quote I think I will put in. And then I've got space if I do any reading challenges. If not, then this will just become February spread. And yeah, I think I'm also going to grab the other journals that I use and go over those real quick. So this is kind of a maybe commonplace book. I put some of my ideas for things in here, and like here was the list I used for my 25 books, and I was writing out my TBRs, but I think I'm going to move those to my reading journal. So yeah, this gets used for a bit of everything. This one I wrote out all of my owned books so I could easily find them. Guys, I'm up above 40 books. So I'm actually going to challenge myself to read 10 of these before I can buy myself any more books. I'm not counting the 3 that I read in December. I do have a book I'm almost done, and that one can count, but yeah, anything I started in January that I physically own can count toward those 10 books. And then I have my notes on Thoroughfare so far. And lastly, I have this journal that my book club my binder fell apart that had all the books we read, so I transferred everything that I had, which was 2018. We've actually been meeting since 2016, but I lost those notes, and I didn't want to have that happen again. So I moved everything over to this journal, and I've given each year its own kind of color scheme. And yeah, this is that would be 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's, I have 7 years worth of books that my book club has read in here. This was this year. And then I have this year set up. So yeah, I think I have enough space in here that I could have a couple decades worth at least of book club books. And then a friend gave me these 3 notebooks for Christmas. I'm gonna pick one of these, and I think I'm gonna just put favorite quotes from books in it and bookish quotes as I come across them, and then that can be something I can flip through and enjoy. And if anyone is curious, I keep all my journaling supplies in this box, and I have a tea tin that I keep all of the stickers that I want to use for journaling or that have been sent to me from pen pals and such. And then I have other stickers. These are bookish and flower ones, dinosaurs, and washi tape. And those, here's my star stickers. I got these at Hobby Lobby. And then I have all of my larger washi tapes there. And here's those bunny stickers. And then I really have very simple supplies. This is a relatively new hobby. I say that as I set up my 3rd year of reading journal, but I use these Sue color pencils. You can just get them on Amazon. I waited for them to go on sale. I snagged a 72 pack for like $8 or $9, and I took out about 20 pencils and I gave the rest to my kids. And then here are just some pretty simple highlighters I got at the Dollar General. And I have these Mr. Pen markers. They're fine liners. They're 0.2. Also from Amazon. And then just various pens I've gotten from places. I do really like these Optimus pens that you can get at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General if you're in the States. They come in a 2-pack, and I just added these 2 colors for this year. They used to come in a 3-pack, and those are the same ones I've been using for 2 or 3 years. And then a friend of mine just got me these Sharpie brush tip pens for Christmas. So I'm going to be excited to try these out. I've got purple. Yeah, so if you want to start a journal, I highly recommend it. It doesn't cost that much. If you're in the States, Hobby Lobby has their stuff on sale every other week. This is a dot grid journal I got at Hobby Lobby back in 2020. I think it was like $4, and I'm still using it. And this one I got on Amazon, and it was $7 or $8. And then you can just, you know, for a few dollars, get yourself some supplies. I've been slowly collecting these over the past couple years. I still feel like I need to give myself permission to pursue this hobby, even though I've been doing it for a while, but everything fits in the box, and my spreads are not anything super duper special, but they suit my personality, and by keeping them simple, I've been able to keep up with it for 2 years. Anyway, let me know if you have a reading journal or bullet journal, and if you have any supplies to recommend, let me know. Until then, happy reading!